obviously, there has been a lot of drama around the Spice Girls reunion, and obviously in Bizarre, you know, I've been tracking it every step of the way.
You seem to know more than I do. I need to ask you what's going on.
Well, I can tell you all of that. But
Go on, what's the latest?
Well, the latest is the reunion is still on.
Okay.
There is going to be a Spice Girls reunion next year with Jerry and Mel B and Emma Bunton. And from what I hear, they would still love you to maybe have a role in it. I mean, do you think once you've done the solo record and that's out the way, do you think there's any chance that you might come around?
I don't know. You know, people, I don't want people to think that I made my decision based on this record because, you know, like we discussed, I've been making this album for 3 years and it was going to come out at some point anyway. And you know what? People who are business-minded out there might have thought, well, you should have done the Spice tour, raised your profile and then released your record, you know? That would have been the clever thing to do.
But you've always been very clear this was never about album sales for you or anything like that.
No, well, I mean, of course I want to be successful. I'm still really ambitious. I love what I do. And being successful enables you to have freedom to go on and to continue to do it, which the Spice Girls has given me. You know, I, like I've said in all my interviews, I've totally 100% followed my heart and my instinct and my gut. And, you know, I came to the conclusion I didn't want to do a Spice Girls reunion at this time. I'm not saying it'll never happen in the future. I don't know what the future holds. But for now, you know, this is me. So let's see. And, you know, and other people out there as well, while we're here, let's clear it all up, shall we?
Let's do it.
Let's do it. You know, if this album wasn't as successful as, you know, we would like it to be, that wouldn't mean I would return to the Spice Girls. I still stick to my guns, you know. Whatever is right for me at the time is what I do. And now more than ever, you know, I have a little girl and I have to lead by example, you know. I want her to grow up to be a fantastic woman, so I have to be strong and make good decisions and teach her, you know? Absolutely,
absolutely. Victoria has spoken about this for the first time very recently.
You've got a bit Jeremy Paxman on me. It's a very serious little thing.
Well, because she was quite... It was really interesting to me what she said, because everyone previously had said that she was very behind the reunion, right? But she said, it was quite interesting, I thought it was clever, because she said, oh, yeah, I'm fine with the reunion, but I don't think they should perform any of our songs that we did together as a group, because that would feel wrong. Do you agree with that?
Well, I do have mixed feelings about it. You know, I have to say the girls have been very respectful in my decision to not do it and to continue with my solo career, even though someone called me a biatch.
Tell me about that. You must have been like, well, you know, Mel B, come on.
No, I didn't see it, but I can completely guess what happened. You're on TV, you want to get a laugh. So I've done it. I've done it. I've been there. I held nothing against her, 100%.
And we all know what Mel can be like.
Yeah, of course. You know, what?
I've been on the receiving end many times myself.
I'm sure you have. But, you know, it's a Spice Girls soap opera, isn't it? And a lot of what you read isn't true. Some of it
all of it is true and bizarre, Mel.
Everything that everything says, I'm not going to say that. I'm not going to give you that guarantee. Everything you've been told, it's true. You've been told that. What you've been told might not be true. But yeah, that's the quandary you find yourself in. But yeah, so where were we up to? So yeah, so with Victoria, it is a tricky one because, you know, personally for me, I've said this in a few interviews. Sorry if I'm repeating myself. The Spice Girls to me is like a jigsaw puzzle. If there's a piece missing, it's not complete. You know, we're not a band of interchangeable parts. We're 5 individuals that came together to make the Spice Girls. So if there's only 3 of them, is it really the Spice Girls? You know, discuss.
I'm
guys, sure you are on Twitter.
Let us know what you think. Let her is the album cover.
Thank you so much. There she is.
Melanie
there's
C.
the tat.
Version of Me. Now, I have to ask you about that title track, because the assumption is that the song means a lot to you, given it is the title track. And there's been a lot of speculation over the last few days that the song may have been about maybe 1 person, maybe 2 people. So firstly, is it?
I've not read about
this.
Well, this song, you know, everything I ever write is from my own personal experience.
Of course.
I'm never going to name names or confirm names.
You're going to do a Taylor Swift on us?
I'm going to do a Taylor Swift. Yeah, that'd be nice, wouldn't it?
So is the song about Mel B?
I would never confirm or deny.
I have to ask the question, obviously.
Of course you do, Dan. No, do you know what? This song, you know, I have experienced bullying at school, you know, a little bit.
Yeah.
In my early 20s, I experienced it, but it's completely from my point of view. You know, these are my thoughts, these are my feelings. I'm expressing what I went through. There's two sides to every story, you know, so I'm not pointing the finger at anybody. I am just writing a song based on my experiences. And what I found with audiences is it's lovely when people can identify with your words. And I find solace in music all the time. And I hope that people, you know, can be helped with this song because it's a song of hope, you know. It
is, and it's feeling like that this is you being empowered and hitting back and saying enough. Well, that's what I took from it.
And it's about standing up for yourself. And it's interesting because obviously at the moment I'm having lots of interviews and people are quizzing me about everything. And I think in that time, you know, as a person in the public eye who speaks to journalists, you learn stuff about yourself as you're being interviewed. And look, I love this record and I'm older now, I'm a mum, I am confident, but I'm still vulnerable, you know, and I'm still petrified at times. You know, I haven't got it sussed, I still make mistakes. So I want that out there in my music. And the other thing I keep saying as well is like, we're in this together, you know, everybody, human beings, we have the same issues, we have the same fears. Instead of being at war with each other, let's come together and just enjoy our time here, you know. I'm such a hippie right now, but that's just, you know, that's how I'm feeling with everything I'm doing.
And I have to say, the album is brilliant. I've been listening to it all week long. It's definitely tapped into a lot of emotions with me, so I am so glad that you have released it.